Good morning, students. How are you guys doing today? I've missed y'all. I hope you're having a good afternoon. I just wanted to show y'all something before we get started. You know, we had a little trip into Miss Trees' garden, and I wanted to show you some stuff that's been growing in the garden. These are one of the bell peppers from the garden, and we've got 3 of them. Look at that. Bell peppers from the garden. And then here are a whole bunch of jalapenos. See those? Whoops, one almost fell out. See all those jalapenos? We're going to make jalapeno poppers out of these. Those will be really good. And now the big basket of squash. Look at all those big yellow beautiful squash. We're so excited. We're going to have to give some of this away because we have so much squash growing. This is just from one day when my husband went to pick them. So, wow, I wanted to show y'all what's been growing in the garden since you saw it before. And there were just little bitty pieces of vegetables, but now they're growing and it's very exciting. Okay, so this week, since it's Thursday, I'm going to catch y'all up. And this week, we have a story called Home on the Prairie. And when Miss Trees was a little girl, there was a TV show called Little House on the Prairie. And it was one of my favorite TV shows. The little girl in the TV show, her name was Laura Ingalls. And she was just very nice and a lot of fun. And the TV show was just awesome. So as I read this, A Home on the Prairie, it reminded me of that story and that TV show. So on Monday, you had your vocabulary like usual, and you were supposed to turn to page 278, and you could either, since you have to draw a picture of these words, I'm going to let you either write what the word's about or draw a picture. You can do one or the other. If you've already done it, yay for you. When you turn it into me, I'll give you bonus points. Okay? So the first part was the vocabulary. The words were prairie, habitat, grazers, burrows, and colonies. And as we read through, we'll talk more about what those words mean, because I'm sure you already know what those words mean because you already did that work. Now, what type of story is this? Is it a fiction or a non-fiction story? Look at the front page. What do you think about that? I'm thinking it's probably a what? You're right. It's a non-fiction story because it's giving us non-fiction. Remember, fiction is what? Make-believe. So this is non-fiction, not fiction. So it's not make-believe. So this is going to be about facts. Okay? So this looks really cool. Now on Tuesday, you were supposed to make and confirm predictions, and that you were supposed to do on page 281. Now, making predictions on 281, if you'll turn to that page, I'll give you a minute to get to that page, 281. And while you're turning to that page, remember, making predictions, we've done that all year long. We've probably done that more than anything when we've been reading books and stories. Making predictions are things that you think the story is going to be about by looking at the pictures or looking at the title or looking at the bold words. Now, what does bold mean? Remember, that is when the words are really dark. And when we were talking about bold words being text features. And text features tell us what the story is about right under those bold words. So you should be on page 281 by now. And we're looking at the text features of the title, the photos, and the bold words. So that's right here. right here on page 281. Okay, so you're going to predict what you think the story's about. Not reading the story, just looking at the story. So let's look at the title. It says, I predicted. So let's go back and look at the title on page, I think I skipped too far. Yes, I did. Where's the title? Goodness gracious. Okay, there it is. Page 265. Page 265 is the title. It says, A Home on the Prairie. A Home on the Prairie. So let's think about that. The title is A Home on the Prairie. Now, if they're talking about a home on the prairie, could that be a fiction book? It could be, but does it say about somebody's home on the prairie? Like Sophia's home on the prairie? Or Raya's home on the prairie? Or Jeremy's home on the prairie? Or Max's home on the prairie? Maybe Emma's home on the prairie? That probably would give us a clue that it's a fiction book. But since it's just saying a home on the prairie, what do you think? I think it's probably telling us it's a nonfiction book. So what do you think that's about? Basically a home that's on a what? A prairie. So let's talk about what prairie is. What's prairie mean? That's one of our vocabulary words, prairie. Prairie means a bunch of grass. It's like a bunch of grass with some hills in it. Look at the picture. It's got hills in it and it's full of grass. Okay? Hills and full of grass. Not really mountains, and it's not flat. It's just kind of bumpy with hills, and it has wild grass. So, a home on the prairie, go back to page 281, and it says title, I predicted, and what do we predict? It's basically about, it's going to be about homes, right? So write home in there, a home in that box, home, H-O-M-E, home, just write that. And then a prairie is like land. It's just land with hills, okay? So we're going to write home and land, L-A-N-D, home and land. Okay, now we're looking at the photos. So I don't want you to read, but let's just kind of flip through. There's photos of, there's a snake on the front and deer and little, those are called muskrats on the front page. Ooh, there's a big rattlesnake on the page 266. They're showing grass on page 267, and there's, look at that, there's not many trees. I'm feeling a little lonely on that page. And then the next page, page 268, there's a bison, or they call it a bison or a buffalo. 269, there's some more deer. And on 270, that's called a muskrat. Those are little muskrats, or prairie dogs. Then there's two owls looking at you with their big eyes. And then here, there's more prairie dogs. And then there it is, it's peeking at you. That's a ferret. Some people have ferrets as pets. And then there's more pictures of animals. So let's flip back to page 281. And what do you predict from the photos? Do you think there's a lot of animals in the photos? Yes, you're right. So we're going to put animals right there in that box. A-N-I-M-A-L-S, animals. Okay, then the bold words. We know already that the bold words tell us what? Tell us what that next part is about. So what I want you to write there is what, W-H-A-T, what? The next, T-H-E, the next, N-E-X-T, then part, P-A-R-T, is, I-S, y'all know is, and then put about, A-B-O-U-T. So those bold words are going to tell us what the next part is about until you get to another bold word. Okay, so there we did our prediction. That was for Tuesday. Then yesterday, you were to review the anchor chart back on 260, was it 265? 265 was the beginning, so go to 263. And I want you to just look at that anchor chart. It says the purpose of an informational text is to give information about a topic. The next part says text structure, descriptive. It's compare and contrast, and it gives you a problem and solution. Then the text features say it has headings, bold words, photos, captions, glossary, and index. Okay, you can go over those with your parents as well. All right, they can read that to you again. Now, I want you to start reading all the pages from 276 and 277, and then I want you to tell me, what do you think the author, or why do you think the author put an index and a glossary in the story? Why do you think that? So what's an index? An index is the part of the book that tells you what words or what parts of the book there are. What parts of the book there are. What's coming up in the story. Okay? And a glossary tells you, I'm flipping through to so I can show you what page the glossary is on. The glossary is to tell you what words are in the story. Okay, what words are in the story. All right? So, why would they put a glossary and, here it is, on page 276. Why do you think that he put this in the story? Why do you think? All these words. Why do you think he put that in the story? So I want you to just write that down. Okay, you can just write it on your book and tell me why you think he put all those words with the definitions in the story. Okay? All right. So then I want you to read page 265 and 269. Okay? 265 and 269. And you probably have to catch up a little bit if you didn't read yesterday. But if you didn't, read to page 275. Okay? Read to page 275. And then you'll be all caught up. Then, just complete the I know on page 281. That's right next to the prediction page. 281. 281. Let me get there. 281. Where are you? It's the same place where we did the prediction. So we did the predicting together. And after you read the story, I want you to put what you know. Okay? What you know. What you know about the title. What you know about the photos. And what you know about the bold words. Okay? Now that's a little bit more than you're used to all in one video. But it's not really that hard because we did the predicting part together. Okay? Now, if you have any questions, have your parents text me. My cell phone is on Dojo. Okay? They can text me or they can call if you have any questions. Okay? All right? Okay. I'm going to do a social studies video after this So I'll see you in just a little bit. Love you. Bye.